I am someone that a student should look to with their questions, their concerns, and hopefully just assisting them and being an advocate for them outside of the classroom. That title is very ambiguous, and I think that's intentional because I wear a lot of different hats within the department. One of my main roles is to oversee advising for the department, so for all of our majors and our minors, and I also serve as the actual academic advisor for most of our majors and all of our minors. So I do a lot with advising and holds and making sure that students know what classes they need and that they're registered. I also do a lot of work with our internships in terms of planning and facilitating our internship fair every fall semester. So I work with a lot of outside companies and organizations to make sure that that comes together and is executed. The favorite part of my job is meeting one-on-one with students and just seeing what students are doing and what their accomplishments have been, and really understanding where they're coming from, that something new comes through my door every day, which I love. And so it's really nice to really have those one-on-one conversations and, again, see what people are doing, tap into their interests, their likes. It's really an exciting time for students, so it's fun. Certainly in an advising appointment, you know, we talk about what courses students need to take and prerequisites, but really, in most of the time in an advising appointment, we're also talking about what the students' plans are for the future, what internships they want to do, where they see themselves living, what their career choices are. And so really just having those conversations, I think it's a unique opportunity for the student because they don't have those conversations all the time. And again, it's really fun for me to just see where people are and what they want to do. My hope is to get involved, especially within the next year or two, with doing some more online distance education teaching. And so I think some of that could be through the department, and I think some of that could also just be through College of Charleston as a whole, in terms of teaching a learning strategies course, or helping students again in any way with career development, things along those lines. I think because our major is a large major, and there are a lot of students who are interested in communication, and there are so many different things that you can do with communication. That can be really appealing and really exciting, and it can also be overwhelming and intimidating. As you do start to really see what you like and maybe what you don't like, do things that can really put you ahead. Do things that can differentiate you from other students. So whether that are internships or study abroad opportunities or service learning, you just have to make sure that you're doing something that sets you apart from other students, because there are so many students who are in this major at this school and also at other schools. And so whether you're applying to grad school or entering the workforce, you just want to make sure that your resume is going to be really strong and your experiences and background are really strong. And so you really do need to do more than just what's expected. There are a lot of resources. A lot of them have now gone online, which is nice too. I think main things that I would want students in the department specifically to know about would be the Comm Major tab in My Charleston, which you can install very easily, I would say. And I give out instructions to that via email, as I will also have hard copy instructions. But that tab in My Charleston is really a good landing spot for anyone in the department. So faculty, staff, or students, that really any kind of paper that we use, any kind of form, any information that you may need is going to be somewhere on that tab. So it's very helpful for all majors and even minors. And I also think in terms of advising specifically, through the Comm Major tab and through the registrar's office, we have our program of study worksheet, which shows all of the course requirements for the major, and it also shows any prerequisites and co-requisites for our courses. So that I think is very helpful in terms of sequencing of courses and plotting out which semesters you're going to take things. There also is a really exciting resource, I think, in what we would call our Comm Roadmap, which again is another resource that's helpful in advising that shows what our suggested course path would be. So certainly it's not what everyone does, but it gives a good breakdown as to, okay, if you are a new freshman, what are some courses that we would recommend? If you're a second semester sophomore, this is probably where you need to be. And so that's helpful in terms of planning and also making sure that we're planning in a typical 4-year format. So I think something that would surprise people would be that I'm a very big sports fan. I'm an avid sports fan, specifically Pittsburgh sports. I'm from just north of Pittsburgh. That's where I grew up. So the Penguins, the Pirates, the Steelers, I follow all of them very closely, and I get very excited, and I'm very competitive about those teams. And so, again, I don't think that's anything that's necessarily reflected in my office or my work, but that is something that outside of work I really do enjoy. I did have a student one time that said, like, my roommates said that you're his advisor. I don't know who it was. And he said that you really mean business. And I was like, I do. I was like, but I think, I kind of like deliver it with a smile maybe. But yeah, I mean, if you're not doing well, I'm going to have to tell you that.